This is the part of the show that is easy for me. All I have to do is take the questions that the viewers have sent in to you. And I like this first one from Jay Martell via Twitter. He says, Joe, you added speed with bringing in Jacoby Ellsbury. Now in a race between Gardner, Ichiro, Ellsbury, and wait, include yourself.
Yeah.
Who's faster? I'm going to add. I want you to give me 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's Ellsbury, Jacoby, Ichiro, and you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I know who's fourth. That's easy to figure out unless I cheat somehow. I'm going to go Jacoby, Gardy, Ichiro, myself.
I think I would have said the same thing. I think early Ichiro, rookie year Ichiro.
Yes.
I think he and Ellsbury, it might be neck and neck.
I agree.
Have you ever seen guys? I was in Arizona with Ellsbury. I mentioned that earlier. He does those exercises where he's got the parachute on his back and it helps you with your. I mean. And I think that's all about what the guy gets his speed.
Well, I think so. I think, though, we think some of the times our guys are running with parachutes on their back, and that's what you worry about.
Not Ellsbury. All right, the next one comes from Frank via email, and he says, Joe, do you still enjoy interleague play, even though the schedule ends up being unbalanced?
I do, but I wish the schedule was balanced. When you have wild cards, I think the schedule should be much more balanced.
What would be your solution then?
Well, I think maybe you play in your division 12 times each, and then you balance it out more, where maybe you play the other divisions 10 times each, and then you mix in the wild cards. I don't know if that adds up, but because there are 2 wild cards that come out of this, I think it should be more balanced.
Next question comes from Kim K via Twitter, and she says, what do you do to keep your players motivated all season long, and can you share any of those secrets?
Well, I think it comes down to professionalism, and they all want to win. Is the bottom line. They play the game to win, and that's why you work hard in the offseason, you work during spring training, and they all want another ring. And that's what keeps you motivated. That
is the motivation. Where are your World Series rings, and do you wear them ever?
No, I don't. They're locked up, and I figure they're for my children when I take a hike.
Down the line, exactly. Our last question comes from Alan from Orlando via email, and he's going back to Mark Teixeira, who we talked about earlier. He said, I see Teixeira is showing power again from both sides of the plate. But, Joe, which side of the plate does he have to be more careful with since he had that wrist injury?
I think it was left-handed that he was more concerned about. That was the concern for him. And I've mentioned it a number of times. He got through that the last week of spring training. But it took a long time for him to finally let it go. And you're seeing it's paying dividends now.
I got one last question. You got more than a month in the books so far. What have you thought of the way your team has played?
I think we played pretty well. We've been through some ups and downs just like any other team. We've been through some injuries just like any other team. But I think we're playing pretty well.